there was some other drama at the end of Pro League, which was, and again, I'm just saying the same things over and over and over again for years, for 20 years, 20 long years. Lord, please let me sleep. Please let me sleep forever, please. Right, but I'm saying the same things. And we have to talk about the crowd. This ESL Pro League was really good. Credit to everybody involved. It was like really, really good work. And had some good games in there. It ramped up appropriately as we went through. The talent did a fantastic job. A really punishing schedule, by the way. Really, really punishing schedule. And in the end, it served up a great final. I mean, a great final in the context of what you want out of best of fives. So I usually do a breakdown of all the like S-tier events. This will probably serve as that. There's no point in going over the whole Pro League, but I consider Pro League to be a prestigious event, even though obviously it has that whole week where, you know, you're doing more skits and more fun, and it's a bit more, you know, some of the teams are lesser there. But anyway, this was the final. And you've got a bunch of cool shit going on here immediately. It's Pro League, so it's a best-of-5 final. Whoa, but it's Na'Vi in a best-of-5, and they've got Alexi B, and he is afraid of the number 5 as Valve is of the number 3. Ooh, right? So, like, you've got Alexi B spooky best-of-5 nightmare mode, right? Which is always good to talk about. You've also got, like, Na'Vi in general, like, which Na'Vi's going to turn up? A Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team, if there ever was one. You know, capable of incredible things and also incredible of terrible things. And Eternal Fire in a final of an S-tier event, playing on pure spirit and heart and, you know, piss and vinegar, and just fucking really, you know, winning impossible rounds, incredible individual performances. This was probably the first time since Woxic and Xantares got together where I've seen both of them pop off together for most of the tournament at the same time. And I hate to bring up an old episode of By the Numbers, but I remember when this lineup first got put together. I can't even remember what year it was. Whenever we stopped By the Numbers, probably the last year we were doing it. And I did say I think they're a fantastic upset team. Conceivably could sneak into that top 10 if everyone plays as well. And then they just had a bunch of weird fucked up internal problems. Like Woxic left, and this guy left, and then Madja left, and then he came back, and then this happened, and it was all over the place. But in terms of raw talent, particularly since they've discovered Wakadia, in terms of raw talent, that's like a really good team, guys. That's like a fucking good team. They are capable of upsetting bigger teams, for sure. No joke. And so this is a tantalizing prospect as a final. The underdogs that shouldn't be in the final versus someone who bottles best-of-5 finals. So what we got was a fantastic game, right? And that's all we're talking about. By the way, just to show you how good of a best-of-5 final it was, we had Na'Vi losing their pick to Eternal Fire, then a narrow win on Anubis for Na'Vi, which was Eternal Fire's pick. Then, of course, it was Ancient, another 13-11, 13-11, but then Eternal Fire, they blew them out on Inferno. That doesn't happen. Na'Vi were meant to close on Inferno. Bits meant to hit his flow state on Inferno and just destroy everyone, but it didn't happen. So we go into the last map. It's Dust 2. Anything can happen on that map. God, everyone hates that map. Why is it even in the pool? Help me, Jesus. 13-10. And closer than that even suggests. There were 2 rounds that could have just easily have been Eternal Fires if it wasn't for like good individual plays. And it was a really good best-of-5 final. This, for me, is me and Duncan, me and Thorin, we fundamentally disagree on MR12, MR15. I think MR12 was the right play. I think it's great. I think I love to see this fast-paced, aggressive Counter-Strike. If it didn't have pistol rounds and the economy was tweaked slightly, it would be perfect for me. Thorin maintains that he would rather watch the extra 3 rounds potential per half are rounds that are important usually, so he would rather have the good Counter-Strike. I thought MR15 was just fucking killing my love for the game towards the end, because I cannot, in good conscience, this would have been an 8-hour final if this was MR15. Like, Nah, I'm good. I fell out of love with MR15 when Virtus Pro won Rio. It was dead to me. But anyway, this is for me. Next time Duncan says, but MR15's better though, I'm going to say, but look at this wicked best of 5 we had in MR12. This is everything that MR12 can be. This is fantastic. This was a really, really great final. Could even conceivably be the best one we've had since we moved to CS2. It's up there. Obviously, there's some other candidates. We've had a lot of 3-2s in the BO5s. But anyway, just great stuff. Loved it. So, what are we talking about at the end after this wonderful game? You know, JL got his MVP. JL was doing his JL things, but it was great. Fucking Immer, he's back. Don't kick Immer. Never say Immer was bad. Retcon history. Just great stuff. Well, unfortunately, I noticed it while I was watching the final. I was watching it. Took a break from Cyberpunk to watch the final, and I was like, huh, the crowd sure are noisy. There's not a lot of them there, but they sure are noisy. And for context, I don't know if there was all but 100 people there. Do we know an official number? It didn't look a lot. It reminded me of the E-League studio days, and we could get max in there 120, I think. But anyway, so yeah, some people have said 200, some people have said 50. Let's split the difference. It's 100, right? So there couldn't have been all but 100 people there. And they were noisy. They were loud. It created a really good atmosphere. One thing I'll say about Pro League finals is because of the studio nature of it and the small crowd at the end, they don't feel hype. They do feel a little bit like, eh. And that's why Mouse can win them. But this one, Mouse would have lost because it was pretty hype. The crowd were on. They did the best. The crowd did as well as they could given the numbers. So credit to them. But also, unfortunately, because esports fans fuck up and ruin everything they touch, it was a crowd filled to the brim with dickheads. And what do I mean by that? Richard, you can't attack esports fans. You're going to esports events. Is Blood crazy? What's Blood waffling about? No, it was the throw-up of the old fucking cheating again. And I noticed it. I noticed it at home on stream. There were Na'Vi fans definitely inappropriately oohing and ahhing and oh and cheering and doing stuff when super secret things were meant to be happening. And there was also fucking Eternal Fire. And Eternal Fire had fewer fans, right? Eternal Fire had about 15, 20 fans. But they had some unbelievable hardcore dickheads in that group. Unbelievable. Like, I'm talking like Astralis... Astralis in Oden's fucking levels of dickheadery. They were definitely calling shit out, no doubt. And you could tell the players were doing what players do. Players have noise cancelling headsets on. Players have white noise being pumped into their ear. That all they're meant to be able to hear is the game noise and the Discord comms. But when you press to talk, it mutes that shit and you can pick up on cues. And so this is why when you see players wiggling their fucking crosshair over where they suspect someone might be, they're also pressing their talk button down and the crowd go, whoa! And they go, oh yeah, there's someone up there, okay. Now, both teams can do that. And so you can make an argument that it is a level playing field. But when a round has already gone to shit and a player is in a clutch situation, if a player shouts, he's going A! Or if a fan rather shouts, he's going A! And a player hears that, it completely changes the complexion of the round. And that's the exact type of garbage that was being thrown out there. And I'm told, by the way, the crowd were warned. Blade said this, but I've been told privately, people knew the crowd were doing this. So, for context, I have said this before, but at E-League, whenever, and we even did this at Boston, whenever a crowd was shouting stuff like that out, we sent the floor manager over to go and basically say, you do that again, you're gone. You do that again, you are out. We treated it like it was tennis. If you make a loud noise when someone's trying to serve, you get thrown out of Wimbledon. Simple as that. Doesn't even matter if you're in the box with the fucking strawberries and cream and the champagne. You're fucking gone. This isn't like football, where if someone's coming from behind you and you go, man on, man on, man on, and they, oh, okay. Yeah, you get an advantage at home that way. We don't have to accept that. Esports, Counter-Strike breaks if you know where everybody is. Because that's like having a wall hack, isn't it? And hacking's bad, guys. So the game breaks if people know where people are or where they're going. And so it absolutely has to be fucking shut down the second it happens. But the problem we got in esports is, and particularly with ESL, they pander to fans like nobody's business. They pander to the fans and tell them that they're the best, then that you can do, and we let them do whatever you want, and we let them get away with it. We let them get away with it. And we do that because we keep thinking they're going to spend money one day. So pander to them, treat them nice. Please, please, we love you. You're the best. Come back. We're so insecure about this thing we built. In America, at an American sports event, if you're drunken and belligerent, because they don't do partition. It's like a rugby event. I've been going to rugby events all my adult life. You know, you go to a rugby event, you sit with the opposition fans. Why? Because we're not a bunch of hooligans. We can sit there and watch a rugby game together and both want different teams to win, but it doesn't have to turn into fucking launching beer at each other and punching each other in the face. We can be civilized about it and shake hands and say, well done, you were the better team on the day, and we just go and we get pissed together and sing songs, right? And that's how it should be, okay? In esports, we just allow fans to behave like fucking children and ruin the game. And so Na'Vi won, and it was a super close game. And then you see Blade did a tweet, and I've known Blade many years. I know Blade as a person, as a competitor. I've got nothing but respect for him. I think now, given how Falcons is going, I think Blade, we've answered the question. Who is the greatest CS coach of all time? It's Blade, right? Want all of that out there. Never said for Na'Vi to cut him. I said he was underachieving. He was. And now he's overachieving, actually, with this lineup. And there you go. It's great. Blade is fantastic. Blade would not lie about this. It's not who he is. So Blade said it was a good final, but it's important to note that Turkish fans were sitting 5 meters away from Eternal Fire. During the match, they were shouting in Turkish, giving away our positions. People who understand Turkish confirmed this, right? And he followed it up. And he said, they received multiple warnings, but continued doing it anyway. In the moment when JL won the 1v3 and Major was defusing the bomb, it was the Turkish fans who started making noise during the defuse, for which I jokingly thanked them for the hint by showing 2 big thumbs up. Now, I remember on the stream, and I saw him do like this, and I didn't know. I assumed, and I was getting a little bit, whoa, that's not good. I thought he was doing it to the Na'Vi fans. I thought it was Na'Vi fans had made noise. Because I'll show you the clip and you'll understand why I believe this to be the case. But this is another reason why. Don't tweet until you know all the facts. Don't do a stream until you know all the facts. Don't make a comment until you know all the facts. Richard Lewis likes to live that way. Not everyone on the internet, it seems.
Spam through the smoke to bit. They've got the Smoko vision right now. It's up to Wonderful and JL.
I think Wonderful feels like he's got to get back to help JL, so he sinks back to ramp. A little bit of safety for this battle against Major. Dinked and cleaned up, and now the AWP trained on towards ramp. It's on JL.
What can you do, JL? What can you do? Isolates, missed shot from Woxic. Zentaris to provide the covering fire, pushing in. 2 of the 3, and now it looks like JL's done it. Maja with the kit on. JL, what's his play here? Pushes through and runs him down.
So what I thought had happened there was it was the Na'Vi fans making the noise, and Blade was thanking them for making noise. And I was like, oh, that's a terrible look. You're better than that, mate. But obviously that isn't what happened, right? That was like the Eternal Fire fans were making so much noise, they fucked themselves while he was trying to go for a ninja defuse. But I'll also just point out, there's a little bit here. Let me get the... Watch where JL's looking.
The AWP trained on towards ramp. It's on JL.
What can you do, JL? What can you do? Isolates, missed shot from Woxic. Zentaris to provide the covering fire, pushing in. 2 of the 3, and now it looks like JL's done it. Maja with the kit on. JL, what's his play here? Pushes through and runs him down.
And there was a few clips, and it's just to show you that how it can cut both ways.
Start you once.
Ooh, gets the swing out of Maja, and he's going to assume. No! Ima finds Calix.
Go on.
Chance to plant. Knowledge of the last two. A smoke as well available to him. He is cooking, and he's going for a crazy one. It's not planted. I repeat, not planted for CT.
But the timing, if he plays as quick as he can, he could flank this temple move. Instead, he comes back.
Oh,
He's
did he make
cleared it
noise?
out.
Did he make noise?
I don't think so. You can drop off that silent. Ema, presumably in a powerful position here. He just has to consider this smoke very soon. They could line up. This is a 1v4. Cooking for Na'Vi. Ema playing safe. Woxic swings, and Ema wins.
Unbelievable.
Thought you won.
Now, I don't know if what was happening there was, because it's a fantastic clutch, and I saw people on the fucking subreddit saying, like, fucking, oh, he's, that was shit play by, like, Eternal Fire. That was, like, just a straight fucking sick clutch, honestly. But you could see he was moving his crosshair to potential places. I don't know if people were shouting stuff out. We don't know. Like, and the reason you do that sweeping with the crosshair is to do that, but maybe it was just pre-aim. You know, it's a fucking mess. And you have to say, like, it's sad that we aren't talking about, like, a really good close final, Eternal Fire, all this stuff. We're talking about the crowd. There was another bit. I thought this was that clip, but it isn't. But there was another clip. I won't bore you by finding it, but it was like another clutch. Alex Machine, he says, a great clutch there with a little bit of help from Malta. And it's like, it's so awkward as a commentator or being part of a broadcast where you fucking have to acknowledge that this bad thing that shouldn't be happening is happening because it's the, you know? Yeah, was it Wonderful? Wonderful and Maja? Yeah, it might have been, actually. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, because that one came out. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now. In fact, I know exactly where to find it because what happened was people said the crowd made noise. And again, this is another thing. Like, we'll never know what the trigger was, but he pointed this out and said, fans shelling out positions and attempting to assist their team while a match is live is utter dog shit. You think that's how any player would want to win a situation? You are daft, and if anything, you just sully the moment by putting question marks around your influence on the outcome. I see a bit of discourse around the magic clutch on B versus Wonderful specifically, and when I was casting the moment, I couldn't hear a step, but here it is from Maja's point of view. And so obviously, we're now left asking ourselves, does he hear this step? But if you listen, you'll hear it. This is without the crowd, obviously. This is from the game. So, there it is. You heard it. I'll play it again. Now, the crowd definitely made noise, right? The crowd definitely made noise when he was pointing in, you know, they definitely did that. So we're left to wonder, did he hear that one step while he's on comms and he's in his own head and he's thinking and the crowd are making noise? Or did he hear the crowd noise? Well, we don't know. It's entirely possible he missed the step but heard the crowd, but it's also entirely possible that, listen, there was a step. There shouldn't have been a step. There's also the reverse angle here, which Chad also helpfully posted. Which I don't know why there's any need to step here at all. It's a big mistake by him in this moment to make that step there. No doubt Reddit will be blaming Subtick for that one. So anyway, that's what we're left. That's what we're left kind of having this debate about. And it's sad. It's just sad because it was a really good final that delivered in so many ways. And now there's a lot of big question marks around it. I'll show you as well. Maja said absolutely that they did not hear anything while they were playing. Make of that what you will. I've known Maja a long time as well. I think he's a really nice guy. I've got a lot of respect for him. Do I believe him here? I don't know. But anyway, he said, Blade, we never heard them giving us information, and you had 30 to 40 Na'Vi fans on your side, and we had only 10 to 15. I lost my clutch on Ancient because of fans. Even Bit said there was no kit because we were eco. I had one, but it's your fans who cry. They're not Turkish. My 1v1 versus Wonderful also in Dust 2. He step in tunnel. We clearly hear in game. The only thing is both teams suffer about this complete fans yelling in every situation. I can assure you, you can ask for our audio of our full team speak. We never hear or my teammate give me information about the game. Congratulations on your win again. And he said as well, and you guys have more experience about that. It's impossible to hear anyone speaking. You only hear people crying and try to understand what happened or what will happen. This is for both teams. The fans' experience being so close should be forbidden. So I would say that Madge is kind of in agreement that maybe the fans were too close, and it was like if they were a little bit further back, maybe the noise wouldn't have been so bad. But if you've been to where they have Pro League, it is a limited space, and obviously they want to get in as many people as they can for the experience. So, you know, it is what it is. And then Blade here says, nobody said you were hearing info from your fans. The fact is they were shouting constantly. About the Ancient clutch, you should rewatch the VOD. Turkish fans were screaming during your defuse, and I've addressed the thumbs up to their side. So there you go. They were like, apparently they were like literally cheering because they thought he'd nailed the defuse. They thought JL was too far away, and JL just walked up and shot him in the back. So it worked against them in that instance. All of which is to say, it's really fucking like just sad that we're still going over the same issues. And honestly, the people complaining about the fan reaction riled up some of the fan base. I mean, look, I don't like to take individual tweets from like one person, one fan, and say like, oh, you know, this is representative of all the fans. But I'm about to say something now that probably isn't going to go over very well. I've talked a lot about Brazilian esports fans down the years and how far they take things. It's never really been as relevant to talk about in Counter-Strike up until recent years. But the Turkish fans are fucking really vitriol. You know, look, we all love passion. We all love being passionate about the space, but I mean, some of the things that are said and some of the actions that are, it's just reprehensible. And I hate this like ultra, you know, vicious like mindset. This is like, they're behaving like fucking, you know, the Galatasaray fucking ultras, you know, the notorious like welcome to hell, you know, fucking, you know, nightmare, you know, to try and intimidate the fans. And it's like, you just don't have to do that. That's not even contextually inappropriate in esports, frankly. We're a bunch of nerds and turbo virgins that play fucking video games and just want to be good at video games, and occasionally we get to have a moment where we can LARP as a fucking sports star because we win a tournament and win some money. You shouldn't get so bent out of shape about that you're going to threaten to kill someone. But I mean, some of the tweets were fucking mental. I mean, JL got like the MVP. You can see there was this one user was spamming, I hope all this bastard's loved ones die in the war. You know, I think that's a little bit disproportionate personally, mate. After Blade complained about the fans, reply, you son of a bitch, now you're blaming us. I'll fuck your mother, your wife, and your daughter. I'll drop a bomb on Ukraine, you son of a bitch. If you write something like that, you won't do it after you fuck your wife. I think he means to say that when I do. This one, I think something got lost in translation here. Fuck off, you fucking European pregnant turtle. Didn't see what JL did? The Turks are still cheating and bringing you here. Shut up and let me fuck you to death. So, and I mean, if you go and look at the threads, and if you look at the replies on Blade's Twitter, they are fucking insane and so over the line. You know, look, I'll say this. I'll put that away. That's not very nice, is it? I'll put that away. I'll say, like, if your fans behave in a certain way and people notice that they do that and say, it'd be cool if you didn't do that, mate, It'd be cool if we could all agree, all esports fans together, collectively, we're not going to ruin tournaments and ruin it for teams. It would be nice if we could do that, but not everyone can behave, right? But if people notice that a couple of fans, you know, and they say, oh yeah, this is like cheating, and you shouldn't then go and co-sign what they did and threaten people over it. That's like fucking ridiculous. And it spoiled, this whole saga spoiled what was a great event and a great final. It really did. It's crazy. It's like the mindset that people are carrying over this. And as I said, this was so far beyond. I'll end this segment by saying, you know, it's got to be on the tournament operators. We know esports fans won't behave. We know esports fans can't be normal, right? We know esports fans, they know it's against the rules. They know it's cheating. They're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. So it's got to be on the tournament operators. Like, it has to be. You've got to throw these people out. I don't give a fuck if they've paid, right? I don't give a fuck if they paid for tickets. I don't give a fuck if they've flown like miles. There's a social contract when you go to an esports event, as you know, and if you break that social contract, then you got to go. You got to get the fuck out of the building. We can't let, right, for all the things that I just talked about with the blast rule and Valve points up for grabs, we can't let actual finals be potentially dictated to, like, but potentially be dictated like by 15 people in a crowd who want one team to win. We're like, we can't say that's okay, that we're going to allow that, because it's going to subvert the entire fucking experience of the and the history of the game. It's beyond a joke.